In today's video, we're going to go over the 7 ways that you can get a new car, specifically a Subaru WRX, under MSRP. In the past couple years, I've purchased a couple cars myself, but I've also gone through the process of looking for cars, negotiating dealers, and helping lots of my viewers buy cars and buy new Subaru WRXs. So it's not my first time doing this. In those 3 years, I've learned a lot about buying new cars, a lot about bargaining with Subaru dealers, and a lot about saving money. Because a lot of my viewers contact me and they say, I really want to drive a Subaru WRX, I really want to buy one new, but I think they're way overpriced. How do I save money and get it for under MSRP? So if you stick through the video, you'll hear my 7 tips that will help you save money and get your new Subaru WRX under MSRP. And before we get started with the video, guys, if you want to see more cool WRX or automotive or Subaru content, please consider subscribing. Every subscription helps, and it allows me to bring more cool content to you guys. Number 1 on our list is going to be going to a dealer at the end of the month. Most dealers have quotas with manufacturers. They buy cars on paper for an invoice price. Now, usually they're not going to be paying that amount of money, and what's going to help them save that is if they sell a certain amount of cars for a manufacturer in a given month, business quarter, year, they're either going to get a discount on what they've bought or a discount on cars in the future. So the more volume dealers can move, the better the profits for them. Now, this is especially true at the end of the month because a lot of manufacturers have incentives for monthly volume sales. So if you go in at the end of the month and the dealer's really close to making a volume incentive, they might be more incentivized to give you a better deal to get that car sold. So that's definitely number 1 on our list. I've seen that work time and time again. Tip number 2 on our list is go in ready to sign. Have everything you figured out. If you go in and you're ready to make them an offer and sign the paperwork and pay for it, or have it financed, or whatever you need to do, if you're ready to sign your name to bring a car home with you or to get it ready to bring it home with you, you are in the position of power. A lot of dealers want to know that you mean business before they cut you a deal. They need to make sure they're not cutting just everybody off the street a deal, or they're going to be known as the dealer that gives away cheap WRXs and their profits tank. So if you're ready to make a deal, you can go into a dealer and say, and talk to the salesperson and say, I want the car for $1,000 under MSRP, and I'm ready to sign right now if you give me that deal. And that incentivizes the dealer to make the sale, especially if it's at the end of the month. They know they're going to be moving a car off their lot. Number 3 on our list is have an alternative vehicle in mind. Now, you don't really need to know the price, but know what you're looking for. So let's say I'm going to go buy another dark gray metallic Subaru WRX and I want a 2019, and I go into a dealer and I say, I want this car for $24,500. That's just a number. I need to be able to say, there are other cars I'm looking at. I might not need to be specific about the price, but maybe I can say, one dealer's further away, they're going to give me a better price. Can you at least match that price? And just kind of make it seem like there's a deal on the table so that they feel pressured to make the sale with you. There's nothing worse than going in, demanding a really good deal, and not having an alternative situation, and the dealer calling you on that bluff. Tip number 4 is going to be finance a little bit of money. When I bought this car, I chose to finance a little bit to incentivize the dealer to make the sale with me. There's a big trick here. Dealers make money when you finance. Obviously, you're paying an interest, and some of that interest is split with the dealer. So what I do is I'll finance a little bit. For this car, I financed like $4,000 or $5,000, and I did it for 4 years. So on paper, the dealer's going to look at that and say, for 4 years, we're going to be making interest off of him. So what I do is I finance a little bit, and then I pay it off really quickly. So it actually takes that amount of money that the dealer was expecting from me, and it reduces it, and I end up having more savings on the car. So sometimes the dealer will give you a better deal if you finance some, because they're going to make that money back. But then the trick is you want to get the better deal, finance a little bit, and then pay it off pretty quickly, so you don't actually pay out the rest of that money. That's a huge trick, and everyone that I've ever helped buy a car, I suggest doing that, and they usually get the best price. Number 5 on our list is going to be go to high volume dealers, and there's a really easy way to figure out if it's a high volume dealer. But before I tell you how, why do you want to go to a high volume dealer? The more cars they're moving, the more incentives from the manufacturer they have to move more cars. It's pretty simple, it's pretty obvious. That's really how it goes. If you look at higher volume dealers, they tend to have the better prices than low volume dealers. The easy way to tell is to go into a site, so look at a Subaru dealer, because we're talking about WRXs specifically, and look at how many WRXs they have on the lot. If they have 2, they're a low volume dealer. If they have 30, they're probably a high volume dealer, and you'll probably see the difference in price. Number 6 on our list is going to be to go in with no emotions. Do not be emotionally attached to the car, especially if you're buying one new, because if you're looking at a 2019 dark gray metallic, like we mentioned earlier, they're everywhere. I can find them everywhere. I don't have to go to the one dealer that I'm at to get it. So if I'm emotionally attached, the salesperson's gonna see that and they're not gonna give me the deal because they know that I'm gonna pull the trigger on the car no matter what. So you really need to be reserved and very, objective. And when you go and talk to the salesperson, who is ultimately the middleman between you and the sales manager, you just need to be like, this is the car that I want, but they're around, so let's talk financials. Like, it all needs to be about financials. Even if you really want a car, don't express it, because then it puts the salesperson or the sales manager of the dealership in the position of power during the sales. If they think that you're making a purchase based off of financials, there isn't a power imbalance because they know it's only about the numbers. And the last tip on our list is number 7, and the first 6 tips work. I mean, if you are about to buy a car, if you know someone that's bought a car that's done any of those first 6 tips, they work. You're gonna save money. The amount of money you save is just how pushy and strategic you are. Number 7 will save you money, but it's a little bit harder. So number 7, my tip is go in with another person looking to buy a car as well. If I go in with my buddy or a friend, right, and I say, and we go in and we're like both ready to sign, it's the end of the month, we're ready to move 2 cars, we're not emotionally attached, we follow those first 6 tips, they're gonna give us a pretty big deal because we're moving 2 cars off the lot. We're basically saying, guys, we'll buy in bulk, we'll buy 2 of them, but you gotta give us both $1,000 off MSRP. And that's a really effective way to get a deal. So if you combine all the tips, even number 7, I'm sure you can get something pretty close to invoice, which is what on paper a dealer will pay the manufacturer for the car. It's not uncommon, you hear it happen sometimes. Even if you just do the first 6, you can get pretty close, but if you go in with somebody else, you are in definitely the position of power because there's other dealers that will want to work with you. There are other dealers out there that want to move 2 WRXs. That's a huge incentive for some dealers. So if you go in with another person, you're both ready to sign some paperwork and make a sale, you're gonna get a great discount. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope I saved a lot of you guys money. I hope this video kind of empowers you to go in and be strategic when you're looking and buying WRXs. Let me know in the comment section below how that process goes. If you were able to get under MSRP, I'd love to know how much you paid for your new WRX if you're comfortable sharing that. And tell me about all your experiences buying WRXs, because I think not only myself, but everybody around here and everybody watching this video wants to know. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.